your body.
Trying to
Hey,
work on
folks,
it. Trying to work on it.
this is Mike Kegley. I got Marcus Griffin here with us. We're Illini Guys halftime live, and Marcus, I guess we need to wish a happy birthday to a friend of yours.
Oh yes, everybody is Mister. One of the best players to ever come out of the city of Peoria. One of the best point guards to ever go to the University of Illinois. Mr. Number 30, Mr. Frank Williams. I would like to wish him a happy B-Day. That's
All
my
right.
brother.
Perfect. So, folks, if you're out there on Twitter or on special or on social media, wish Frank a happy birthday. A couple things were coming up here, Marcus. Interesting. The one thing the elbow to the head. I don't know. The cylinder rule seems a little strange to me because it seemed like KJ wasn't necessarily right in his grill, but
yeah.
Those are the type
You got to
of
give
things.
them a little bit of space because, trust me, I have utilized that space quite a few times. The one thing about it, though, if an offensive player does it right, that's going to be the only time a person is ever in his space.
Right.
Because if you get it and you just do a basketball move, ball chin it, and then pivot, if they're close enough, they're going to catch it.
Yeah.
They're definitely going to catch it. Oh, my God. Look who's on.
Yes. Your favorite person in the world.
Oh, my God.
That's scary. I love you too,
this
man.
guy right here.
Oh, Mike, I'm sorry, man. You're in for a treat tonight.
Yeah, well, we are. That's why I'm trying to get Marcus come out of his shell. We can just get him to talk a little.
What?
Yeah.
So, Marcus, early in the half, we had Tomislav getting fed and shooting a ton and really doing quite a number on those Iowa Hawkeyes. Would you have kept going to him a little more? What would you have done as a as a former Illini when you had a player started off pretty hot like that?
I would have went a zipper cut to the side, throw the ball down low. I would have up screened the guard, let him slide down and get the big moving, and maybe he can use his length, and then throw the ball down low. We will milk him and milk him and milk him all game. He has this 5-inch height advantage, and that's not even talking about his length. Points in the paint. Points in the paint. Points in the paint. We're going to pound the paint today.
Yeah, and we're looking at an Illinois lead, 37-30. But Ivisic has 15 points to go along with 4 rebounds, 2 assists, no turnovers to lead the Illini in scoring. Second would be Trey White, who started off pretty hot.
Yeah, hit a couple threes, I think.
Yakuchonis at 7 each. Boswell was 6. Will Riley at 2. So we've had a balanced scoring through this. Ked, any of your thoughts as Illinois jumped out to that big lead and then kind of got stuck on 24 for a long time?
I missed the first couple of minutes, but I'm going to tell you, I agree with what the big fella said. You know, they have the size advantage with Ivisic, but the other thing is I know they're concerned about his conditioning, which is one of the reasons why they took him out a little bit to put him back in the game. What's disappointing to me is without him, this is another typical Illinois game. They're not great shooters. That's how they got back in the game. And if it wasn't for these beasts, like we all agree on, this would be a totally different game. Instead of a 7-point game, they may have the lead. I just wish they could get some shots to go down. And one thing I did like that I mentioned before, I think everybody knows that KJ likes to shoot the ball off the bounce. And I mentioned a couple podcasts ago, I would like to see Kylan Boswell or Will Riley handle the ball so they can throw that baseline pass to KJ so he doesn't have to do all that extra movement. And he made a 3. So those are just different things that I would really look at if it was me coaching. Obviously it's not, but that way you can get him more involved in the offense.
Yeah, I know big guys just now coming back, but what I would do, I would just play him less, feed him more. Meaning I will play him in short stretches, but while he's out there, he's going to get a heavy dose, ball on a block. I want to see left shoulder jump hook, right shoulder jump hook, feet in the paint. We're going to feed him, and then we take him out. We can run the offense, but we're going to pound the paint while he's in the game.
So there's your thoughts on shot selection. I think Marcus did a good job of doing that. And Jay's like, Wonder why Marcus's name never gets mentioned for one of the best centers to play here in Illinois. Marcus, you got to keep feeding us 20s. We'd be more than willing to say that. We just need more green.
Yeah. Marcus, I stay away because, I have my time and I'm just trying to help out the next generation. But I think one of the issues, I played 2 years. I played 2 years here.
Yeah.
If I would have played 3 years or 4 years, it would have been a totally different situation because I felt like I was a good enough player. I held it down. But if I would have played 4 years, it would have been a different situation. 3 years at most.
I'd agree with you. So I think Frank only played 3 years. Is that correct?
He was there for 4 years, but played 3 because he redshirted a year.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, and just to give people an update, Marcus, why don't you tell people what you're doing right now? Because I was out on Facebook and I saw you're spending a ton of time giving back by coaching some kids, and I think that's kind of cool to maybe share that with people.
He can't coach, man. Dude, don't believe the hype.
Well, one of the things that I have taken myself up on is I love, for a while, I lost the love of coaching because I dealt with a bunch of issues that's just the demand of what kids are asking for in sports is just ridiculous. So I stayed away from it. I came back to Peoria, met some different people, and they got me hanging around these third grade boys, man. I don't know what to tell them. I don't got no kids. I don't got no dog in it, but I want to see the game grow. Like I go to AAUs, tournaments, and then we're missing out on fundamental stuff. So I'm bringing that back to the third graders, fourth graders, any guys that I can touch so they can understand the fundamentals before they get into the Euro steps and all that good stuff. Before you do a Euro step, you should learn how to do a jump stop. And so before you jump to that level. So I help with a travel basketball team here in Dunlap, Illinois, Dunlap Eagles. We just won our last championship of this past weekend, the biggest tournament of the year. There's like 115 teams at this whole tournament combined, and we won it in Lincoln, Illinois. So, yeah.
Perfect. Now, as we go into this second half, what are you telling your team, Marcus? You got a team right now, and this is the part that drives me nuts because right now they're 3 for 14 from the three.
Yep.
And they're 13 for 21 from the 2.
Oh, my message is the same. Y'all have already heard it. Big boy is going to get a full-fledged dose of ball in the paint. He is going to get it. And if he's tired, we're going to dribble drive, get 2 feet in the paint. I don't have a problem with those threes. If you're dribbling, get 2 feet in the paint, you kick it out, I'm okay with that. But just the one pass, shuck it up a 3, that's what we got to get away from. But the first 3 to 4 minutes before the first TV timeout, I want Big Boy to have at least 5 or 6 touches with his feet in the paint. He don't have to shoot them. He could be aggressive, maybe kick it out, but I need him to have his feet in the paint.
Cad, what are you going to say?
Honestly, I'm not saying just because he's making this comment. He's right. Because to me, we've seen enough of them chucking up threes. I mean, what you said, I think they're 3 for 14. It's not going to change. We can pretend and sit on this podcast and say all the right things to make people happy. But to be honest with you, I don't want to see it. I mean, and I was a team where you don't have to do that right now. And I will say this too, though. I was really, really impressed with Illinois' defensive pressure. Now, Iowa's not great, so I'm not going to, say, hey, oh my gosh, now they've changed everything and they're going to be a great defensive team. But you have to go with what's working. And what's working right now, to me, is Avicic, and Illinois fans better hope that he stays hot, because if he doesn't, you're going to have to hope that someone else does. It's too bad that they can't shoot a basketball, but this also really, really not. I mean, I'm sorry, but and they can't. And part of it is it could be confidence. I don't know what it is.
Confidence is everything.
Because yes, it is, and I will tell you guys this, and this isn't to give myself a plug, but one of the reasons you see Beast is because of the game plan. But they have an outstanding recruit from Siberia on campus. His name is Aleska Dimitrovic or something. I can't pronounce these kids' names anymore, especially from foreign countries. But Big Boy's on campus tonight, and they want to show him exactly what Illinois has to offer if you come to Illinois. So that could be a part of it as well, which I like, because the Beast is just responding.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hold up. Can I add to that? And something else that I saw in the first half. Illinois needs to slow the game down because when you play fast, Iowa wants to run and gun, but Illinois has an equalizer on their side that's 7'1". Slow it down. Don't tire him out because you know he's dealing with cardio issues. Slow him down. Let him get down there. Throw the ball down to the block. Just feed him. And then when he's out the game, you can speed it up. But you got to watch speeding it up with Iowa because they just want to run and gun. It's like the Phoenix Suns in 06, 07. They just want 7 seconds or less, put up a shot.
Yeah, which is really effective when you make them.
Yep.
Illinois has a tendency not to make those shots. Now, Marcus, I just got a communication here from Blake Haas. He's a WJBC guy, and he does the Illinois State games. He wants you to get a better background.
We was already talking about that. Tell him next time I'm on, I will have the Illinois background because I got it in my camera roll, but I didn't put it up. I thought it was going to be saved because the last time I was on, I think I had it, but this time I didn't put it up. So
no, that's fine. That's fine. This is a tough crowd, Marcus. That's a tough crowd. And
if they lose, it'll be worse if they lose with Griff. Trust me.
Well,
if they lose, man, the crowd will be worse.
Hey, we have like that Saturday's game because the kids. So I got a couple of kids on the team and the coach. So the coach is Kristen Romolo. She's the head coach. I volunteer. Her kids are Duke fans. So you should imagine how that day was for me.
Now you make them run wind sprints. That's what you do.
Oh, I made them do wall sits because Marcus, what was the score? They lost by 50. I'm like, oh my God, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Griffin was bad, man. So you didn't see the game?
No, so I came home and watched it. So we had a game, and then after the game, I had it recorded. So I saw the scores. We was watching a little bit, but I came home and watched it because the score don't do it justice. Like I look for little things. I look for body language, facial expressions. I look for all that good stuff. And losing by 43 or whatever, it was worse than that. It was worse than that. Those guys was defeated. But again, no, it was just one game. And that's why you have a whole nother day to bounce back.
Well, this is definitely a must-win for them because I'll tell you what, Purdue and is it Michigan, that's not going to be easy. I mean, it's just not. No one's going to feel sorry for Illinois because they've been good, and it's an opportunity for teams to get a quad one win. What they need to do, I think, a lot of people have said it. They just have to be a little bit tougher. And Griff brought up a good point about the run and gun. Brad's on the sideline. You can see his arm motion, push the ball. A lot of times when you do that, it leads to open 3-point shots, which is what teams want to do because they can't shoot the basketball. And I mean, I even looked at Fran, who went to a zone against Illinois, but Avicic was so effective, he got out of it. Again, if he didn't have that first half that he had, I would have stayed in it because they're 3 for 14 and shooting 21% from three.
But I play Illinois in the zone. I will go all out, put Illinois in the zone. I will go all out because they don't pound the paint like that. So I will make them shoot threes. I will clog that hole up so much they can do nothing else but check the ball up.
You know, I would be tempted, to be honest, to tell my guys, I don't care how you guard man to man, but I want 1 foot in the lane and have Illinois shoot. That's what I would do until they prove they could.
They can hit them on a consistent basis. I'm with you.
And you take Avicic out of it, do a man and a half, and don't let him touch it. And then somebody, I don't know who it was, but someone on the board here just mentioned about Kylan Boswell. On top of the fact that Kylan struggles shooting the basketball, I think sometimes his threes are just at horrible times. They're not good times to shoot the basketball, and he'll do it. Now he's playing really, really well as far as getting to the paint because Iowa doesn't have the size. Keep doing it. Why do you? Yes, there's no reason for you to sit and chuck up threes. I know it's great if they go in, but it is ugly. And I was hoping to see Brad Underwood eliminate that. I really was.
Yeah, the issues that they have, sometimes it's hard for me to believe with all the games that guys play nowadays. They just must not in the AAU have a coach like Marcus who actually puts some consequences on really bad shot attempts. I mean,
or just fundamentals. I mean, there are some good
Fundamentals.
coaches out there. There are some good coaches. I can't sit and say all of them are
They
bad,
are.
because a lot of these guys are high school coaches, but the ones that are in it for their kids or for the money, some of those guys, it's really noticeable. You can tell.
Yep.
Because what I don't like is to see a bunch of high school kids sit in the zone the whole time. In the summertime, I'm not a fan of that. Because you want them to be able to play man-to-man defense, but you also want to teach it to them. I went through tournaments and coaching, and they sat in the zone the whole weekend, just the same teams.
The best
All right,
thing
gentlemen.
about-
We're going to wrap this up because the game has just started. Folks, we're going to try to beg and get Marcus on again. He's been a fantastic guest, but we'll be on live after the game, folks. Until then, thank you, Marcus, and go Illini.
ILL.
I.
Yes, sir.